I made a handful of randomly generated cars with the use of AI. Instead of using ChatGPT for the millionth time, I will attempt to randomly generate a car with these random number generators I made with Python to generate a car body, the engine, and how the car performs for BeamNG.drive. Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, so let's pick out a body according to the RNG program, which you can see the top right corner of your screen. I got the visual code window laid out here with the terminal window and all that good stuff. We'll start things off with the year, which I got the code listed here, which is basically a random init generator from 1946 to 2020. So I'm going to hit F5 on the random year generator to generate the year of the car body, which will be a... crap. If I were to hit F5 again to rerun it, we will choose... no. 1955! Okay, we got ourselves an oldie. Type in 1955 and... not a whole lot of bodies we could choose. Speed, we got some, but not a whole lot. To narrow our functions, I'm going to use the random number generator to choose which type of body type I'm going to be using. So I believe there are 8 choices from sedan, wagon, van, and all that good stuff. So the random number generator will be dynamic as I will be changing this random number generator code throughout this video, which again is another random init generator function currently set to 1 to 8, meaning 1 is a sedan and up to 8 is a van, and anywhere in between is where I'll be choosing. So it's going to be a van, a straight up van, and I'm going to count how many bodies I'm going to be choosing here to select which specific van body I'll be selecting. You know, before we do that, let's choose the engine position in case things screw up. So out of a 1 to a 3, it'll be a 2, so a mid-engine van. Okay then. We got much to choose from! This is still considered a van, by the way? Goddamn mod bodies. So 10 bodies I'll be choosing from, up to 10 bodies which I'll run through the RNG program, which will be body number 3, which is this 2.12 meter wheelbase body. But we got 2 options. We got the bed cap thingy in the back and this bad boy. I'm going to run these 2. So body number 1, the bed cap looking dude here. Now for the chassis of the vehicle, so we got 3 options in the year of 1955, so... dude, now we run that. Okay, 3 options of the year of 1955, I gotta correct this time, so... it's screwed up. If I hit the F5 button again, this will be the number, so number 2. Ignore number 3, just do number 2. Because of how the frickin' terminal just bugged out. So a fiberglass panel material, 4 options for the chassis type. So it'll be number 3, which is a space frame chassis type. And what type of steel type? Regular steel or galvanized steel? It'll be galvanized steel, a number 2, with a mid-longitudinal, like it said it generated, a mid-engine car. The suspension type will be a number 2, which is a solid axle leaf front suspension and our only option, double wishbone in the back. With the quality slider, this is a mixture between a list function, a little bit of a word, and a random number generator from 0 to 15, and a list randomly generates from a minus or a plus sign. So run the quality slider. This will be a -3, so off to an okay start. I'm not going to do an RNG for the sandbox tech pool. I'm going to keep it as is at a +5, which is the default for everything for the chassis or the engine. So for the engine, 4 choices here. Out of the 4, it'll be a 2, so a V60 degree type of engine up to a 6, 8, or a 12. This will be a V6 engine, a number 1. Oh no. Is it gonna fit? If it don't fit, I'm gonna regenerate, like, either the engine or the, like, engine mounting point, like, change from mid-engine to, like, a rear or front. So block material, straight up cast iron, number 1. And just for reference. Nope. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Like, any engine? Yeah. Yeah, any engine, so mid-engine don't work. Why is this a freaking configuration? Is this like a mod body? No, it's a straight up vanilla body, so... I gotta change out the freaking engine placement again. Regenerate this. Please don't be a MIDI. Okay, front engine. A conventional front longitudinal engine. That was a number 1. I'm not going to change the rear suspension because this was not needed to be re-rolled. And for the engine bore and stroke generator, I got 2 round functions from 50 to 120, which are in millimeters for the bore and stroke. Hopefully this will cooperate with me because, well, if I increase the stroke, especially being at 7.3 millimeters, 50 bore, as I increase the stroke, especially for this big of a ratio, the stroke and bore ratio, the bore goes up too. And if the bore were to be a big boy, like this guy here, and drop the stroke, the bore is not affected whatsoever. So a 73.3 millimeter bore, 65.6 millimeter stroke. I've typed this in. 73.3, 65.6, which will get this to a 1.1, almost 1.7 liter engine, 1,661 cubic centimeters. Pretty terrible. And will it stay at a pushrod heads or no? It'll be a 3, so a single overhead cam, but we got 3 options to choose from. A 2, 3, or 4 valves per cylinder. It'll be 3 valves per cylinder, a number 2. And the heads will be made out of aluminum, so that's a number 2. The quality of the engine block is a, god damn it, -6. Off to a mid-start. And I'm not going to regenerate the variant capacity through the RNG generator, so variant capacity will stay as is with this engine. So 5 choices for the crankshaft. It is a number 3, so a forged steel light with 6 choices for the conrods, which will be number 3, which is a cast heavy, and 5 choices for the pistons, which will be number 5, so forged light, not too bad. And a 0 out of 1, meaning 0 for no balanced mass, or 1 with the harmonic damper. It'll be no balanced mass whatsoever. And to run the 0 to 100 generator, which is still the random knit function for the counterweight slider. So the counterweight slider will be set, damn, nothing, at a 4. Wow. This engine will probably blow up before testing, I swear to you, man. So the quality of the conrod, ooh, plus 10. Okay, it'll make up for some of this. It'll make up for the lost balance and mass. And the compression generator, which is still it's a uniform random number generator from a 5.0 to a 16.0, rounded to the nearest 10th of a decimal. Run this bad boy, it'll be a, ooh, high, very high, 13.1. And run 2 of the 0 to 100 generators for the cam profile and the springs and lifters. So number 1 is a 56 for the cam profile. Number 2 is a 19 for the springs and lifters. So decent on the cam profile, and was it 16 terrible on the springs and lifters? 19. And the RPM generator, which is still the kind of random uniform generator, just like the compression. But I got it rounded up to the nearest 100, seeing that each increment is every 100. The RPM will be set to 5,600 RPM. Fairly realistic for this time period. And its quality will be at a -5. And turbochargers do not exist in this year, so skip over to the carburetor. 5 choices for the carbs. Please be like a 4-barrel or a DCOE, I swear to you. So, damn it, not again. So if I rerun, it'll be the first number that pops up. So a 2. Ignore 5. Oh, that would be nice. A single barrel eco. Damn it. If the 4-barrel would have came up first, I'll be happy with it. So see, eco carb it is. And what type of barrel setup that we got? A 2, so a twin carb. A little bit of a compensation there. The size of the carburetor from 0 to 100 is a 20, a small boy, which is pretty much makes up for the engine being so small. And 6 choices for the manifold. It'll be number 2, so a standard low type with the manifold size of a 0 to 100 in a 30. Another small boy like its carburetor counterpart. And the type of fuel from leaded, so it'll be counter. So leaded, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 choices of type of fuel that we're going to be using. So number 1 will be, let's just do number 1 is unleaded, and up to number 6. Up to 6 is unleaded. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be number 5. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unleaded fuel, okay. The choices from low quality of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 choices of type of fuel octane. Please be the ultimate for the sake of knocking regular. So 1, 2, regular fuel. So the ignition timing margin generator, very similar to the quality slider loop. It's plus and minus for the list that randomly selects between the two. And it goes from 0.0 to a 5.0, minus being an advanced and plus being a retarded level. So it'll be a plus 4.8, so retard it as much as possible almost. Fuel mapping of a 0 to 100. She'll be a 91, a rich boy. I woke up in a new Bugatti rich. Will the quality save anything? Save any grace? +2. Okay. And finally, for the exhaust with the headers, 6 choices. Be choosing number 6, a racing, tubular racing header. Header size will be at a 16. All that hype for tiny header sizes. And single or dual, so 1 or 2. 1 is single, 2 is dual. So, single. So for the exhaust code here, for the exhaust size generator, so I do have a set list in millimeters from the lowest at 12.7 all the way up to 203 millimeters, which will randomly select one number from this list. So it'll choose a 69.8 millimeter exhaust size, which is 2.75 inches. And no cats, because it's their only choice. And I believe 3 for the first and second mufflers. I'm going to choose 3 of them. So generate the first one. It'll be a 1, so a baffled? No. 1 is a none, and 2 and 3 is either baffled or reverseful. So none for the first one, and reverseful for the second. So average. Valve float. Save me, exhaust, quality. He did nothing. Unfortunately, the engine does not run due to valve flow, which probably have to do to springs and lifters. Exactly. So, 0 to 100 generator, it'll be at a worse. I agree. Anything higher than a 10 or a 19? 36. Let's see. 36 will do? We still got valve flow, but it's running. Yeah. So see that the engine is in running state now. I'm not going to be making any changes manually or redo anything with the RNG generator. So the power we get is a 47.6 horsepower at 4,400 RPM, torque at 65.7 pounds-feet of torque at 3,300 RPM. And second of all, look at the RPM idle. 1600 RPM this thing idles at. Idles at 16, gains a little bit, torque kind of goes flat, which isn't that bad. The drop-off and the drop-off, we're going to drop-off. What's the matter if you, hey Marty, calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. Let's hope the drop-off isn't that bad for BeamNG. So anyways, let's give you a pull test with this terrible RNG engine right now. Sounds alright, despite sounding a frickin' war zone as soon as the throttle is applied throughout the entirety of the run. So for the actual car build before designing parts, so 2 choices, cannot do front-wheel drive. So 2 choices between rear-wheel drive or 4x4. It'll be 4x4. Okay then. Manual or automatic, it'll be an automatic. 2-speed or 3-speed, so same 1 and 2 generator. It'll be a 2, so a 3-speed automatic. The top speed, let's see, let's grab another number. 30 miles an hour, 390 miles an hour. Let me customize the RNG code, 30 to 390. You can't see this, but I'm doing this manually. And this will generate at a speed of 254 miles an hour. At first gear speed, it'll shift between 24 or 74 miles an hour. I'm going to put those in. So 24 to 74, it'll be at a 32, so fairly meager. Spread, I believe, is from 0 to 100. Yes, so 0 to 100 generator. It'll be set to a... It's set to a 7. This will be... Oh my god. So first gear will shift at 31.7 miles an hour. Gear 2, 107 miles an hour. Gear 3, 253.5 miles an hour. These are some tall... Can I see them right away? I need to build a car. But I'm going to check out the gear ratios a little bit. That is stupidly tall, man. So the type of differentials, it'll be a 3. So a clutched LSD and whatever the quality we get here. A -6. Damn. And for a choice of tires, out of the 3... A 2, radial type of tires of 6 choices. It'll be a number 2, so all-terrain tires, and First of all, let's manage with the tire diameter to get this going. So the lowest, 540 to 600 millimeters is the most. 540 to 640. Gonna put those in and generate, which will be 548. So rounding that up will be at a 550. Rim size from a 10 to an 18. Goddamn! Didn't expect to be balling on these type of wheels. So 13-inch rims, fairly suitable, of a tire size between 90 or 165, within that range. The fronts will be at 134, so rounded up to the nearest 5 will be 135 for the front. Same thing for the back, 90 to 165. It'll be for the rears, 165, the highest. Nice, don't have to change anything. And how about rim offset for the heck of it? 0 to 70, and 0 to 70, 0 to 80. So starting with the first one from 0 to 70 with the front wheels, it'll be at a 5, rounded up to the nearest 5, it's a 5, which is... The rear is at a 26, which the nearest 5, rounded to the nearest 5, is a 25. Quality, plus 13. Here we go, here we go. Now we're to step in the right direction, getting some pluses other than minuses. The brakes, 3 choices here. So drums or a disc. Drum, single shoe drum, from 160 to 250. Edit the number generator, 240, so some big boys, alright. And 50 to 150, yep. Between these two, 122, which it's not going to round anything, so exactly 122% for the front brake force, 2 choices in the back. What type of drums do we get? Oh no, it's solid disc, I thought it was a 2 shoe in the back. And same thing, 160 to 250. These rear brakes are a rounded up, 190 millimeters. But it all matters with the rear brake force. It's going to be OP or not so OP. 6. Oh, nice. 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 You know what I mean? Nice. And the pad type from 0 to 149. 1 click down. Not bad. And the quality slider. Any changes? +9. Okay, got some good brakes. Good brakes. Alright, under tray or no? 2. So number 2 is N off-road skid tray. And I believe 0 to 100 twice for the cooling and brake airflow. Engine cooling and brake airflow. So number 1 is the engine cooling at a 96. The brakes, 61. So a lot of cooling to this engine. 96 up front. And finally, the quality, +1. Minor upgrades. And for the seats, I could really put back seats. Okay. And for the seats here, this is going to be a little bit of an interesting one. So, I can only choose 2 types of seats, which is number 1 will be the full-size seats. Number 2 will be the reduced-size seats. And I cannot remove the seats whatsoever. So, number 1 will be full-size. Number 2 will be reduced-size. 2. Reduced-size seats. And will be a 2-seater or a full bench seat. 2 choices. It'll be a bench seat. Front, reduced size, bench seat. Yep, that's my only choice. And the back. We'll have no seats in the back, which will be number 1. Number 2 will be the reduced size seats, or number 3, full size seats. We will have no seats. No seats in the back. Nice. And out of 7 choices for the interior will be a 6, so a handmade interior. And the choices, 3 choices. 1, 2, well, yeah, start from 1. 1 is a none, 2 is an AM, 3 for phonograph. This will have an AM radio. So what type of AM radio out of these 4 choices? It'll be a premium AM radio. Pretty decent, but despite the handmade interior, we got a premium AM radio. That's a letdown. Interior quality will be +1. Just like the Arrow? Yeah, just like the Arrow. And the type of steering, these 3 choices. It'll be a 1, so a manual recirculating ball, no traction aids, but we choose a quality for this here, because it is a slider, we have to. Quality, +9. The safety standards, so let's start off with 1 will be 1940s era, 1950s is number 2, 1960s number 3. Out of 3 categories, it'll be a 3 with our only choice, advanced 1960 safety standards. And I'll set up a quality for the safety, -3, so less safe and a little bit less weight. And do 2 of the 0 to 100 sliders for the weight distribution and the optimized weight sliders. So number 1 is optimize weight, its slider, at a 90, so more towards the light setting. And number 2, 26, more towards the back. Finally, the suspension, 2 choices, and I believe it's going to autofill the rest, I swear to you. Progressive standard. Standard springs with... I knew it. And out of the 6 choices, let's see what type of preset we're going to be going for. A number 2, so a normal preset. That's my type. And no, I will not be tuning with the RNG for any of the suspension tuning whatsoever, but I will have to do the quality and the ride height. First, let's do ride height and then quality. So 340, oh man, 340 to 419. It'll be set to a 381, which will be closest is 380. And finally, the quality slider for the suspension is at a +8. Okay, then. Pretty good suspension. And damn, it's pretty lightweight, too. And, I forgot trim body. I forgot to do the body quality for the overall car. So let me run the quality slider for this. +7 for the body quality. Forgot all about this. And will it make any changes? Made it heavier and... Oh, no way. No way. 100% negative reliability on the gearbox. Top speed, 30.1 miles per hour. Bruh. This thing ain't gonna run for jack. It's just a first gear car, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, front brakes are hella OP. I cannot change this. Rear brakes are OP too. Also cannot change this because of RNG laws and all that good stuff. So anyways, with the design being all done, well, the building part being all done, I'm going to prep the design right now by doing a quick time-lapse video of getting the exterior and probably an interior if I can get one to work with this car. Seeing it's probably going to be a simple car to build and everything, especially for the year of 1955. So anyways, do a time-lapse of the design process right now. So for the design of this car, I got a good start with the front end. It's inspired by the Suzuki Suzu light with the headlight and turn signal placement. For the grille, I cut out the body and added some curves to the cutouts in an attempt to loosely replicate the Suzu light's grille design. I also added another grille fixture to work as the outline for the cutout grille. Then, I placed a front bumper with this old North Carolina license plate and a chrome trim design for the hood. The sides are quite basic, just a pair of truck-style mirrors, old-school door handles, and a pair of door hinges that are exposed. For the rear end, I used these elliptical taillights that has the turn signal, brake light, and reverse lights all in one. I also added a pair of door handles to get access to the cargo bay. I thought about adding a rear bumper to the back, but with how this car is shaped, it wasn't going to work out with the fixtures provided. For the interior, it was a pain finding some good fixtures for this small body. Not only that, I couldn't find some good floorboards because of how the chassis is designed for this car. Seeing that this is a 3-seater, I added a large, cheap bench seat mod and slapped it right in the middle, along with some basic door cards and a dashboard for this time period. I also added a partition in between the seats and the cargo bay in the back, so you don't have any items flying into the front seats in case you have to brake hard. To touch up the dashboard, I added a few buttons and switches that controls the headlights, the defrost, the fuel pump, and climate control fans. So after getting everything done with this build, here's how it came out. This is the 1955 Rando RCV6. This randomly generated cargo van has a small and weak engine. While it has modest styling in and out to the best of my abilities, it ain't a bad looking vehicle after all. Despite what the RNG gods had given me, how will this car work as I later drive it in BeamNG? So after the design of the Rando RCV6, and before putting this to BeamNG.drive, let's generate a random color. So go into random.org's random hex code color generator. We can pick the first one, which is a toothpaste lime green. I have no choice but to choose this. Body panels, plus, and click on the advanced paint mode, and paste the hex code. Oh my god. I'm thinking about generating the flakiness number generator, maybe? So for the paint flake generator, just a random uniform function from 0 to 1 in a float decimal point, which I'll run right here. So what we're getting is a 0.560 and company. I'm gonna copy and paste this, see if this works. Will this float value work? Yeah, it does. A 0.5603, which we'll be selecting for the paint of this truck. I don't think I'm gonna do anything with the bed cap. You know what? You can change it. Screw it. You can change it. Let's do this. Let's do this. And generate a color for the bed cap. Purple. Copy and paste. Jesus criminy. Run the float RNG thing yet again, and it's gonna be a 0.20 something, 23 something. Alright, let's see what it's like. Wired. Alrighty, now we are done with the vehicle with this goofy clown Joker looking ass type of paint design of this vehicle. So despite the problems that we got here before exporting this to BeamNG, such as the gearbox reliability is way too low, excessive amount of overdrive, the car's understeering, front and rear brake force is way too high, engine suffering from valve flow, engine cooling factor is way too high, quality issues causing high cost, front and rear tires are so wide, the engine is retarding ignition time at full throttle to avoid knock. Let's take the Rando RC V6, the Joker edition, the RNG car, to see how it drives. So here we are at the map of Italy with a modded time trial layout of a street circuit that we got loaded here, and for the engine of this car, I once had an incorrect octane, which I kind of confused you earlier about the choice of the octane. I had the choice of number 5, which that 5th choice was nitromethane instead of unleaded fuel. So instead of making 37, 38 horsepower as it once was, now it makes, according to automation, like 89 horsepower and 170 pounds-feet of torque. So now it runs in its correct octane that it once was with the unleaded setup that I've made the mistake earlier. So anyways, we can start this time trial run here in 3, 2, 1, rev bomb this boy, go. And first gear we go. What? So the freaking top speed of getting over 250 miles an hour is making this thing stuck in first gear. What if I go to first gear to second? No? Okay then. I swear, 0 to 60 in over 30 seconds, and, turn left to go right, left. Damn, hardly any warning right there, man. That happens when you download a modded-ass time trial run with this layout here, which I forgot which one this time trial layout belongs to, because I believe I downloaded a similar type of mod with the street circuits for West Coast USA, which I believe this is also made by the same mod author. Like, if you were to search up on the BeamNG repository, like the West Coast USA's, well, West Coast USA's, like, street circuits, the modded street circuits, and Italy's, this... You pretty much know what I'm talking about, like these circuits here. So the handling, chicane. Damn, handling like a freaking natural. But the brakes lock up so damn easily of what it generated for me. Say the steering is a total mid. It understeers like crazy as it once... Look at that, one said in... That confused me. What it said in automation, we're definitely getting that understeer here in BeamNG. And the gearing, you gotta like shift into second and go back into drive to forcefully shift into second because it stays in first gear no matter what. But this engine has a lot of potential. It's got a lot of power for this lightweight vehicle here being about 1,400 pounds, making 88 horsepower, well, according to BeamNG, 87 brake horsepower, 165 pounds-feet of torque. So this engine has a lot of potential. It really does. So a time... I think it's a 2:38, right? It's a 2 minutes, 38 seconds, 15 milliseconds. So I did run into scores before of a 2:08, which the Fiat Albarth 900 SS, the wannabe replica of a Fiat Abarth type of car made in the 1960s if it were to have a bigger engine for the Fiat 500. So go to free roam and crash straight ahead by hitting the frickin' tilde key and the escape button at the same time to get a brutal ass front end crash with some sharp polygons over the place. The transfer case, the drivetrain poking way out of the car. With the transfer case all bugged out, the car still runs no matter what. I don't get it. Even though it's an automation to BeamNG car, these things are like damn near bulletproof for such a harsh collision. So now, let's take this bad boy down. Let's pretty much end its misery for how terrible this wannabe Joker-looking ass car is to leap of death, to drop this to a freaking ramp down a cliff, and yeah, end its misery. So take it to the top of the ramp right now. Does this mean that the leap of death is broke or something else? So here we are at the map of Car Jump Arenas 2024, the paid mod variant that I got available. There's also a free one too on the repository. So we got a 4 light and a 5 light, so get ready to go in green. Go. Just neutral drop the frickin' car as so down the ramp. So here's gear number 2. Can we get a gear number 3 in the chat? Let's see. Over 80 miles an hour, 90, 100 something. Yes, we do. We got gear 3. And the speed upon exit is 137 and a distance of 115 meters. Mid. Front flipping on our roof, and we'll probably stay on our roof until we get to the sand in the distance here. So on our roof, still on our roof, we scrape on our roof, and sand on our side. It helped us for a minute, but it didn't. And flipping it back upright, hardly any damage from that semi-perfect landing. Just some minor crinkliness with the outsides, back's all perfect. Left is a little bit jacked up, right, not a whole lot, and the front. So just front left damage. And for the interior, kinda held up fairly well from that collision. And the frickin' speedometer, the gauges are all gone. I guess the frickin' collision really knocked the gauges off its socks, its trim, and this and that, I guess. So with the Rando RCV6, aka the Python RNG car, the only compliment I can say is that the engine has a lot of potential in terms of power. It really gets going in first gear for such a light car, but struggles in the second gear. If you're in third gear, good luck with that. It's a decent, lightweight cargo van that lacks in handling and gearing. If those two were perfected, then it would have been the ultimate RNG car to compete with the ChatGPT and other AI cars I've made in the past. So anyways, that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. So this is TRIZE rising up and signing out.